Let's go back to Capitol Hill, where any minute now, invited senators will arrive for a ceremony to honor the life of Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. These same senators currently embroiled in a fight to replace her before the election, going against Justice Ginsburg's final wish. Joining me now, Democratic Senator from Pennsylvania, Bob Casey. Senator, you and many of your colleagues will be honoring Justice Ginsburg's life today. But tomorrow, this thing turns nasty and political. The president naming his pick. Is it an automatic no for you?
Well, Stephanie, when this president announced his two Supreme Court appointments since his presidency began way back in 2017, he's had two nominations. I voted against both. And most of the reason for that was they were chosen by far-right organizations. I don't want the United States Supreme Court justices chosen by the Federalist Society and the Heritage Foundation. The Heritage Foundation calls unions cartels. I don't want them picking the Supreme Court. I have no doubt that the same will happen on the choice that we made Saturday. And a lot of people know what's at stake. This Supreme Court case on the Affordable Care Act is the most consequential Supreme Court case in 25 years at least. And pre-existing conditions are gone if this court rules the wrong way.
Yeah, but Senator, isn't it expected if there's a Republican president, of course they're going to use the Federalist Society to help them make their pick. Like, that's how it works.
No, it doesn't work that way, Stephanie. We've had a lot of Republican presidents who have chosen justices in the mainstream, and that's no longer the case. The Republican Party is governed now by far-right extreme forces, and so we're going to fight this nomination, and we're going to continue to fight. The most important thing for people to know, though, is the Affordable Care Act is on the line. I've got 1 million people in my state who've got health care. 5.5 million have a pre-existing condition. We're not going to allow right-wing Republicans to take away the protections for pre-existing conditions. We're going to do everything in our power to stop them. And that means stopping them in this process, but also stopping them on election day when we cast our votes.
It's always important to remind our audience President Trump ran on repeal and replace. He hasn't replaced. Let's talk about Election Day, because one of the first tests.
Where's the replacement?
That's the question. Sorry, one of the tests for a post-RBG Supreme Court could be from your state. Republicans are challenging an extended deadline for mail-in voting. Are you worried about that?
No, I'm not worried about it because, look, the people of Pennsylvania want to vote, and they know the best way to vote safely in the worst public health crisis in 100 years is to make sure that you can exercise your right to vote by way of a mail-in ballot. Or under state election law, you can drop off your ballot at a drop box or other location, or you can vote in person. So people have 2 or 3 choices at least, depending on what county you're in. People want to vote, and they're going to vote in big numbers. This turnout this year in our state will be the highest we've ever seen in the history of the state, and that bodes well for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris.
For those who can safely, who don't have necessarily overriding health concerns, are you encouraging Pennsylvanians to vote in person, knowing all the tomfoolery the president is trying to shake up around mail-in voting?
No, I'd encourage people to vote. The best way they think they should exercise the right to vote is up to them. But for a lot of people, the mailing in your ballot vote, it's really voting from home, which is the best way to do this in the middle of a pandemic. But that's up to them. They're going to have a number of choices by virtue of state election law. So that's a good thing for people, that they have choices in how they exercise the right to vote. But I'm telling you, Stephanie, all right, this issue of health care is going to be on the ballot.
Then I've got to ask you about this sort of new controversy, the president's attacks on mail-in voting, specifically in your state. And the argument that he's making has very little to do with the truth. Can you help us understand whether or not it is safe to vote by mail in the state of Pennsylvania?
It's safe to vote by mail. And look, we know by now that everything the president says about mail-in balloting and voting in general is a lie. He lies all the time. So nothing he says is the truth about this. That's point number one. Point number two is there are going to be many opportunities for people to cast their votes in Pennsylvania. Depending on where they live, they're going to have all kinds of choices. That's the way it should be in the middle of a pandemic. The president and his team is seizing on a report from yesterday. But look, the right to vote will be protected, and it'll be done safely and legally in Pennsylvania.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.